So today was the Apple event and they finally announced the long awaited for 14 and 16 inch MacBook Pro with what is called the M1 Pro processor as well as the M1 Max processor. But I think that the majority of people, even some Pro users, should not buy one. What's going on, guys? My name is Zak Kincaid and today we are talking about the new MacBook Pros, all the specs in them, and why I think that most of you don't need them. If you're new to the channel, I make videos all about the creative process, both with video and music, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to stay up to date. I'm pretty excited for the direction Apple is taking. I think these are the first true pro MacBooks Apple has made in a long time, and what I mean by that is they are reserved solely for people who are pros. You're not gonna see a lot of everyday consumers buying these like someone who's just buying one for college, as you did with the old MacBook Pro. And I think Apple knows this as well, and that's why they're still continuing to offer the 13-inch $1,299 MacBook Pro. The new MacBook Pros came with a couple of things that we were all expecting, such as the Super Retina XDR mini LED screen, which is going to bring that 1,000,000:1 contrast ratio, going to make it really good to work with HDR content. They also removed the touch bar as expected and brought back a couple of our favorite ports, namely the HDMI, SD card, and now MagSafe 3 that offers fast charging. Apple actually says you can get 50% of battery time in a 30-minute charge. This is all with Apple's new M1 Pro and M1 Max SoCs that are up to 10 cores with an integrated graphics card on the same chip that on the M1 Max models goes all the way up to 32 cores. Also on this SoC, it has a dedicated media engine, which is going to speed up ProRes RAW workflow in video up to 7 continuous streams of 8K ProRes RAW footage. And also, I think they mentioned up to 30 streams of 4K ProRes footage, which again is just absurd. It also comes with a built-in display engine that can power up to 3 of the Pro XDR displays, as well as a 4K monitor at the same time. It also comes with some quality of life upgrades, such as better front-facing camera and a better speaker array on both the 14 and 16-inch models. One of my favorite things they did is now the main thing that differentiates these two MacBook Pros is the screen size. You can get these same specs on the 14-inch as the 16-inch. That means you can get the M1 Max chip with a 10-core CPU, 32-core GPU, up to 64 gigabytes of RAM, and 8 terabytes of storage. That is all on the 14-inch, and that is completely spec'd out as high as you can go. When you go to the 16-inch, the specs are exactly the same. So the only difference there is the screen size. Now, obviously, the 16-inch will have better battery life and probably better cooling just because it's a larger chassis, which means you might be able to squeeze a bit more performance out of it. And I think Apple kind of hinted at that as well. But as far as on paper, you can get the same internals on both of these devices. Now, with all of that said, all of the great stuff they are bringing to the new MacBook Pros, it really makes it seem like it is a dream device. And that is why you shouldn't buy one, because for most of us, most of the people who are watching this channel, it is a dream device. What I mean by that is it is way more powerful than most people will ever need. The only people who should really be buying these devices are people who are actually pros, the people who are going to make way more money with the laptop than they will without it. I'm talking about the people who have last generation spec'd out devices and they are pushing those to the limit. Those are the ones who should upgrade to these new ones because it's going to give them more flexibility, as well as they are going to make way more money with this laptop than they're going to spend on it. But for the majority of people, including most small creatives and small creative professionals, even if that is your full-time job, it's way more than you're ever gonna need. And you could actually save a lot of money and get the M1 13-inch or even the older 16 inches, and they're gonna do exactly what you need them to do. Granted, not nearly as fast, but they'll do it $1,000 cheaper. You really need to ask yourself, do you need the latest and greatest? It's super easy to get caught up in all of these specs, in the tech reviews and everything like that, and really want these super high-end devices, but the truth is, most people will never even use that high-end specs. For instance, I make a living creating video, both for myself and for clients, and this is a base model 16-inch from 2019, and it still does everything I need. you can actually pick up one of these used for around $1,300. You know, that's without tax as well if you buy it from an individual party. So you can save over $700 and get a great device that's gonna do everything you need it to do and put that money towards something else. And if you want a brand new device, the 13-inch M1 is more than likely going to do everything you need it to. The 13-inch regular M1, the $1,299 base model, kills it in Logic Pro, kills it in video editing, is incredible when it comes to graphics. I mean, even the M1 MacBook Air and Mac Mini, when you push them to their limits, can get any job done that you're really wanting. So that is where my problem lies. I was really excited for these 14-inch models to be announced because I wanted the power from a 16-inch, but I think the 16-inch footprint is a little bit too big for my needs because I am carrying it around so much. So I thought the 14 would be perfect. But when I think about it, I could upgrade to the 13-inch, pocket money from selling this one, and save $900 over getting the 14-inch. So is that new screen and those ports really worth spending an extra $1,000? Will I make $1,000 more in the next few months by having that computer versus the one I have or the 13-inch? The answer is no, not even close. Because at this point, I'm not limited by my computer at all. So my input and output would be exactly the same. And I think that's something you really need to ask yourself. It's so easy to get caught up wanting the latest gear, but at a $1,999 entry point, and keep in mind, that's for the 8-core, that's not even the 10-core one, you can go spend $1,000 on a used M1 and get everything done you need. In my opinion, it's just a little too pricey. I don't think you should be buying the 14 or 16-inch unless you know for a fact you are pushing your current machine to its fullest capabilities and no other machine will help you get to where you're trying to go. If you were going to use this device to make money and it's an amount of money that you wouldn't make without this device, that is the only time I can see it being justified. But don't go out there saying, oh, if I get this, I'll get more projects and I'll do all this, because I've been there. I am there. I thought about pulling the trigger on this, but in reality, my MacBook works just fine and I don't have to drop $2,000 right now. So just something to consider if you are trying to purchase one and you're not a creative professional that knows right away that you need one, please wait for all the review videos to come out. Wait for the larger channels to get these MacBooks in their hands so we can see exactly what they do and see if it's even worth it. I promise you, if you wait for those reviews, somebody is gonna put it against the 16-inch and the M1, and you're gonna find out that this is a lot more power and more money than you probably need at this stage in life. So save the money. If you're looking to get one, just pump the brakes real quick. You'll always be able to get one later, but just make sure it's what you actually need and not what you want. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think about these new Macs down in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, or if you didn't, that other button works just fine. And go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you stay up to date with all of my future videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.